And we're live.
All righty.
Hello.
Leo, thanks for organizing and introducing us to Death Sentence.
You're welcome. It was very exciting to make. It was nice to see how much of a good response I got from everybody I showed it to. I'm happy to have all of you in here. It's always nice to be in the Stillfleet channel. I loved playing with Kelly when we were doing Kadira. Happy to have Mo around as well.
Thank
And
you for
I'm
joining, Mo.
excited to kill some of your characters today.
Yes, please.
I am ready
I
to
don't
die.
usually
I mean,
get
wait.
to do that.
Let's do it.
Well,
Leo, do you wanna kick us off? Do you wanna slow roll it, or do you wanna jump right in? I mean,
yeah. I'll introduce the game and go over a little bit of rules explanation, and then we're getting to it. Death Sentence is a game that's meant for one-shot play. It's a fairly lethal game because it's supposed to emulate the experience of a slasher movie. Hence the ensemble cast. We have quite a few characters because death is expected, and the narrator is not supposed to be pulling any punches. It's also low on the crunch side. The assembly of the dice pool might seem a little bit daunting in the beginning, but you don't really have to do math. You just think about what applies, what doesn't apply. Is there something about the scene that can give me an edge? As the narrator, I am going to be often adversarial and looking for things in the scene that can be a problem. And if I didn't describe something, you can always be like, is there X thing in here that I could use? And then I'll consider if it makes sense. But most of the time you will be thinking about what sort of character attribute the action will revolve around. If any of your character relationships applies, if you have a trait that applies positively or negatively, because you will want to sometimes shoot yourself in the foot for sweet drama points. Somebody might want to help, and in helping, it increases the odds of success, but if it goes bad for both of you. Kind of like in Blades in the Dark, when a character decides to help, they are at least paying some stress to be able to help with the check. We don't have stress as a currency, but we have a panic score, which I will call on you guys to roll against from time to time to see if a character ends up doing something stupid, detrimental, and potentially lethal to themselves or their friends. That's about the gist of it. When you roll your pool, you're going to count how many successes you got, which are the 5s and 6s. So you can have a partial success in which you achieve what you're trying, but you pay a price. Or you manage to get it to achieve the thing and you don't have to pay a price, and you succeed so hard that you get an additional positive. So maybe in a chase situation, if you crit, you can maybe pull someone along with you and the other person doesn't have to roll, that sort of thing.
Cool.
That's
cool.
most of how the game is intended to play. Of course, any other questions I am happy to answer. And I think with that, we're going to be getting started.
excellent. And so I think for structure, each of us is 2 characters today. And Leo, you're GMing. And we'll see if any of our characters live to the end.
This is why we're playing 2 characters, just so we can have another one to pull on too.
Yes.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be super nice if like a character dies and then you're out of the game. Imagine
Okay,
you go to game night.
Next game, y'all see you later.
Right.
Yeah. Like some tabletop games in which you die, you get to hang around as sort of a spiritual advisor or something like that. I think Betrayal at the House on the Hill lets you do things after you die, if I'm not mistaken. But in this case, you guys get a few more chances to stick around and do things. So here's the basic idea. You guys are a crew of influencers and adjacent folks. you are going on an Amazon adventure with a guide. Your local guide turns out to be a guy from the other side of Brazil who happens to spend some time in the Amazon. Dude called Miguel Hoffman. And he has this itinerary that he likes to take his clients through to show them the sights and, like, oh, this is the thing that they mentioned in the Joe Rogan experience or something like that. If you are interested in the Amazon, you will eventually get pelted with Joe Rogan clips. It is inevitable.
Oh no.
This fits with one of my characters so well.
Oh no.
I wonder who it could be.
And you guys are going to be this guy is going to take you all through a little bit of a journey. You guys are going to be backpacking and camping. He says it's all pretty safe. He's not staying too far away from any possible help, trying to stay more close to the edge of the forest. It is a little sad when you guys are getting close that there is clearly a zone where it has become desertified. So it's like soy all the way to the horizon, soy as far as the eye can see, and cattle. And then there's this barren little bit, and then you get to where it starts to become lush. The Brazilian Amazon has suffered quite a bit over the years. But where you guys are going, everything is still lush and amazing. And it should end with a traditional feast with a Ribeirinho community, who are a populational group that lives mostly in sort of a subsistence economy around the rivers in the Amazon region. A lot of hunting, a lot of fishing, foraging, cultivating things that grow well in the region, and so on. If you guys would like to all introduce yourselves, let's just say that it is a beautiful day, although muggy and incredibly hot. It's almost like a sauna in here. But you wake up in this hot, wet environs, and it's funny, the sun doesn't quite get to you all because the canopy is so thick. And you guys are waking up, getting out of your bedrolls, and Miguel is already up. Looks like he's already been up for a little while, just all chipper and excited. Good morning, everyone.
Hey.
Managed to sleep good, no ticks. Please do flip your boots upside down and shake them a little bit. You don't want a spider to be in there.
Oh, dude, definitely not.
Oh my god. Ew. Okay. And Julietta will grab her boots and just try to shake them, but also kind of throw them because she's like, I don't know if I want to deal with that. And do you want us to describe her characters and how they? Yeah.
So, a little bit of how do they look?
Yeah. So Julietta is very prim, tan skin, dark brown hair that's been bleached. You can always see from her grown out roots a bit. That's bleached sort of like a light blonde, dark brown eyes, and just has herself put together, or at least trying to. It's early. She's not had her coffee. She's not and of course she probably won't have coffee. So she's been just dealing with life. And has things put together, is trying to pack things accordingly, fold everything neatly and tightly together, and make sure everything's just all that, and has her book out of their itinerary of the day and just trying to memorize it before they do it, because she's actually the producer. She's the one keeping all the Wildcats on track, because someone needs to, okay? Someone needs to keep y'all wrangled.
Yes.
And then Kirby, they them pronouns, actually is this taller, androgynous looking human with just a shaved head that's has a, even though it's hot, they have a bandana on just to help out with the sweat on their head. We'll grab the boots and just shrug and just shake the boot and look in, and then hand it back to Julietta. But they're wearing a tank top and just getting the equipment together and making sure all the batteries are relatively charged, because one of the camera people that y'all have, or the only one, I don't know if anyone else has a camera person, but you have one at least.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think Jeanette wakes up and is maybe kind of hanging out with Julieta and is also sort of interested in like what we're supposed to be doing. In part because she's pretty like on top of things, and in part because she's not as interested in food or the Amazon or Brazil, but just like this was, you know, a collab she thought would raise her follower count. But she's like a tall, pretty blonde college student from Chicago who is a lifestyle vlogger. And yeah, she has like appropriate clothes that are all brand new that she bought for the trip. So she's not like really into like going out of, you know, cities that much, but certainly has prepared well and is taking in stride the comments about like spiders and boots and whatnot. And my other character is definitely still asleep. So in the tent, you probably just hear snoring. So yeah, I don't think he's up yet. But his name is Ricky, and he's a food vlogger whose parents are diplomats, and he's lived all over. But he's basically lived most of his life in Seoul, South Korea, and he is very excited to eat all kinds of basically eat anything. Like he does like a Fear Factor kind of channel where he's like TikToking, just like eating with celebrities and eating weird stuff and eating street food and kind of cooking, but not really that much. And so he is convinced Jeanette to, you know, kind of do this collab, and they can kind of cross pollinate their followers. And so they're both not producers and not really people who know anything about the Amazon. So they're going to be really useful on this excursion.
Well, there is also Shane, who he's probably like early 30s, curly blonde hair, but he is constantly wearing a backwards baseball cap as well as sunglasses at the top of that. And he has just like the curls flowing out from beneath his hat, the Laxbro flow, if you're unaware. You know, he was an athlete. He is always holding his lacrosse stick. But he absolutely has like started focusing only on the glamour muscles. Not really. He's never met leg day lately. But he is sort of like a gymspiration guy. You know, Leo mentioned Joe Rogan, and you know that's top tier of what he is trying to emulate. And then there is his on-camera girlfriend Valeria. She actually doesn't really know Shane very well. She is just there, and I don't know how good the cell service is, but she's just on her phone. She is, you know, she has a visa to be in the US, and part of that is being able to work, and that's her job with Shane. And she's, you know, like, you know, brunette hair, longish, and kind of is just one of those Instagram models, and is very good at it.
I would say you get like a 20 centimeter long centipede crawling out of your boot when you go and bang it on the tree.
Oh!
Those bite hard, but generally not dangerous. Miguel just comes over and like gets a big leaf under it and walks it away. Like, okay, buddy, it's fine. We are as afraid of you as all of us. You're on your way. Okay, Ricky's still asleep. I got him some grubs he's gonna probably want to eat on screen. They're called suri. Really good on a skewer. I got some ready for you guys. Wakey, wakey!
Oh, that sounds great,
physically,
man.
the total opposite of Shane. Like, Shane is all glamour muscles. This guy just rucks. He rucks the forest.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky is very out of shape. So I think the tent is basically destroyed as Ricky awakens with a start. You know, like kind of disturbed. Where am I? You know, it's kind of too light, but also too hot, and it just doesn't feel like the normal hotel room I'm in. And he sort of slashes around and is like, "Oh, okay," and is sort of half dressed, like in like clothes he slept in, and it puts boots on without shaking them, and so possibly steps on a centipede and emerges
Wythe,
into the
roll a
forest.
d6 and tell me the number.
Great. I got a 3.
A 3. Something crunches under your foot.
Great.
It's first a crunch and then a squelch. It doesn't
Like
bite you.
too well.
You'll probably kill it dead. But
Okay.
there is a crunch and then a squelch and then a little bit of humidity on your sock.
I think Ricky is immediately like, first of all, like, Miguel, and then second of all is looking around like, did anyone get that on camera? Are we taping? Is someone taping? pulls
Serena
out his
did.
phone.
Valeria did take a video.
Oh, thank
of it.
God. Yeah. Hashtag boot day. I don't know. He's throwing stuff out.
Trying different catchphrases.
Boot loot.
Miguel motions y'all over. There is coffee, but it's all like instant coffee because he doesn't have to worry about a filter and how to throw away a filter in the Amazon. He's very, very serious about leave only footsteps behind. So he's stirring the pot with a thing that's like, it looks like a stick, but a store-bought stick. Stirring a big pot. There's a label to the side. There is a little bit of a fire, and he has made these fat, slightly bigger than a thumb grubs that are with a whitish body and a dark head on skewers. Those are actually delicious. Don't yuck the yum before you try it yet. As well as all the other rations you guys brought. But he woke up early and went fetching some. It was like good content, I would surmise. He has definitely a little bit more of a Brazilian accent than I do, but I'm not going to try to make one up right now. And he looks like he is trying to sound as eloquent as he can. He's not used to being on camera. He takes people on these trips, but camera first time. So sometimes when he's a little bit more shy, he kind of slinks away from the camera. Today, he's very much the happy camper because he went out and dug up some grubs. Those are an actual thing. They are not too dissimilar from stuff people eat in Australia as well. Sort of a local delicacy. They are grubs of a type of palm weevil that starts in the region of Peru and spreads. I can leave a link for you guys to throw in the chat. So we are going to start the day as usual with a pretty nice long ruck, and we're going to a river because you guys are fishing for lunch, as we had discussed. If any of you guys catches something big, we're probably gonna need 2 people to pull up the one fish. You guys have never had to fight a pirarucu before. They're big boys, absolutely delicious as well. Let's see what else is on the menu. I'm probably going to try to show you the places where I know some animals like to cluster. As always, like, you might not see that much charismatic megafauna here on the floor because half the life is up there. And he points up to the over 10 meters of forest and even more than that. Anybody hear a little bit of a jaguar sound at night? Well, it's about over there, this direction. They don't think you guys are food. You should be okay.
Well, that's reassuring. So yeah, and she has her book. She's okay. So yeah, so we're gonna have the filming right now for the grubs. We're gonna get Kirby. We're gonna have the one shot of the group of them together, and then try to zoom in for everybody's. And she's going off about camera angles of how direction. She's very detail oriented about everything. I don't know if any of y'all's influencer people have had a director before or a producer for their work. This is new for them, and she's just going off the books. So yeah, the piranha thing, definitely, I would love to see it. Kirby, I know you want to fish as well. We'll try to get you in some of the shots, but or maybe not. I'll hold the camera for that, maybe. But yeah, with the 2 people, I think it'd be great for Shane and Ricky to work together. Oh my God, Valeria and Jeanette, y'all trying to pull the fish would be just great for the viewers. Also.
Oh yeah, Valeria looks vaguely Lara Crofty in an outfit that is not practical and is bad for a ruck. It's bad.
I'm just imagining the Aldecaldos in Cyberpunk with all those straps and stuff running around their
Yeah,
bodies.
there are pockets that don't need to be there, but also they can't like hold anything. So it's
They're like
just
they're just like maybe hold a quarter, like just the size of a quarter, and then like that's it, like just one little like tiny coin,
exactly. There's nothing in there.
but it's cargo pants shaped. So yeah.
Yeah.
In his ignorance, Miguel deeply approves of surplus pockets. He certainly has a few, but you guys can see things jingle jangling in the pockets.
Oh my god, I love that. Yeah, so eventually she's like, and where are we ending up again? Like so the fish are gonna be for dinner, but like what are we doing for the night? Are we just gonna like find a place to camp once
We're
it
gonna
gets dark?
see the
And-
Riberino, right?
We're not quite yet. That would probably be tomorrow if we make good time. There's always the possibility of not making good time for a variety of reasons. Like I've had people who were just so, amazed by finding a bunch of alligators in the sun that they just wanted to stick around and take pictures for forever. The alligators do think you're food, so not too close.
But we can eat the alligators, right? I mean, that's kind of like why we're here, is like to eat stuff. Like you mentioned jaguars. Can we eat the jaguars? I mean,
Why you
I'm
wanna
trying to
eat
keep a list.
jaguar?
There, in general, you don't go for those. Those are endangered species. If we find one that's
Right.
recently dead, I can see what can be salvaged. That's something that the Iberian populations do as well. And honestly, like roadkill and carrion are probably the most ethical way to eat meat if you think about it. You're just not letting it go to waste. It was already there.
Yeah, that's why
but we're
boot
not
loot is going to be
hunting.
trending. We're going to make boot loot a thing because if you find some dead stuff, you should just probably eat it, right? As opposed to killing something like on purpose. Like, I'm sorry, little guy, that I stepped on him, but So we're trying to find bigger boot loot, right?
Yeah, and
Ricky's
like
kinda looking
fire
around.
purifies everything, so it's just makes sense.
Yeah.
It definitely helps. Maybe like leave a couple thin strips of meat over the fire to smoke overnight. That's pretty good too. But yeah, definitely. If we find something interesting and I have a look and I see that there are bits of meat that can be salvaged, we could make a whole thing out of that. I am sure the Ribeirinhos would be delighted if we arrived with, say, a peccary on a stick. That would be great, but don't count with it. Okay. You guys have your coffee, have your grubs. Kind of a nutty flavor on the grubs. It might be surprising. The texture is a little unusual, but probably not to Ricky. Ricky is used to squelchy things.
Yeah, I've definitely had grubs, and I think he sets up a shot maybe with the producer. I think he's probably worked with the producer. I think Jeanetta's a little new to this and is trying to stay composed, but it obviously does not want to eat a grub. Like,
Yeah, Kirby's
pretty big.
got the camera, and they were like, trying to get like a wide shot of all y'all, about to have y'all's first bite, like sort of thing. And so they're just kind of stoic and just like is focusing on y'all as y'all eat. How does Shane do with the grubs?
Shane looks like he's eating a grub, but he actually is just like posing with it and then busts out a Cliff Bar from like one of his actual cargo pants. But the grub is not going in.
What about Valeria? Is she gonna eat one?
Valeria's into it. She's kind of game, even though she enjoys making Shane look like the dumbass that he is. So she's game.
Miguel definitely walks over to Shin and is like, "Oh, come on, big boy. That's good protein you're wasting."
I didn't waste it, bro. I was
Were you going to
feeding. I
just
was
leave
feeding
it?
the other things. Those other guys.
Touche.
Nothing goes to waste in the jungle, bro. You know that better than anyone.
I will not argue that, but that's still good protein that you're not putting in to fuel those beautiful beach muscles. Let's get moving. The coffee is fucking hideous.
Oh no!
Like he overheated the water because you don't have really good temperature control on a fire, on like a pile of sticks, and it took so long to get the fire going because everything is so humid, so terribly humid.
Yeah. I think Julietta
But-
just like sort of like pinches her nose and just throws it back as best
Yeah.
she can. Maybe burns her tongue a little bit, but it's fine.
Yeah, I think Ricky's really like following Julietta's lead here. Like, yeah, she's got it all figured out, Maybe also like a little bit not used to being with lifestyle vloggers who are like really in shape, so is pretty suspicious of sort of Shane's whole like deal. Like this is like a new, this is cross-pollinating with a whole new group.
Yeah, a lot of my vitamins come from the rainforest, actually, so I'm already, like, basically halfway a native. It's fine.
So we won't say that on camera.
Oh, yeah, that's probably
A
bad.
Hoffman
Too
kinda.
Kirby, go ahead and accept for me. We'll just make a note there. Thank you. Go ahead and say it again, Shane, properly.
Vitamin X is what you want. If you're
Cut.
thinking about proteins and you don't have access to these good grubs, don't worry. I have link in the show notes.
Okay.
30% off using code LAXBRO.
Laxbro?
LAXBRO.
Like laxative? Is that the
LAX bro. Oh no, that's lacrosse. That's the lacrosse. Anyway.
Ricky is convinced you sell laxatives and now cannot be unconvinced.
Okay.
Juliet
no,
and
that's-
Kirby are the same way.
Miguel, being an ESL dude and not too familiar with that sort of stuff, is also convinced you sell laxatives.
This is perfect.
He takes you guys on a like circling around a little bit of terrain that elevates. So this is not exactly mountainous terrain right here, but there will be the ups and downs. We will definitely want to get to elevated terrain again to sleep today. And that's why we're going to stick close to the river, the same one we're going to fish for lunch. I want you guys to pay attention to the sounds you hear today. As I mentioned, most of the life is up there. If you want to get like a nice shot of a beautiful bird before it flies off and stuff, try to tune in and get in sync with the nature around you.
Yeah. Kirby will definitely be at the back with the camera, just like not only taking B-roll shots of just nature itself, but like also just taking like videos of y'all like walking and like maybe someone trips or something, like just. He's also trying to listen for like things in the back.
Kirby, if you could find something to like backlight me against that, and with like, if there's an interesting bug or something, just let me know. I think that'll really pop.
They look and then they just pull out their phone and like put a flashlight on, like backlight.
I mean, okay.
We're working with what we got.
We are working with what we got.
And they turn off the flashlight and stick it back in their pocket.
While you guys are doing that, you start to hear the sound of water. You guys are fast approaching the river, and then the guy just stops you guys, lifts a hand. Hang on, you are going to want to see this. Anybody here squeamish with the creepy crawlies, the big-legged ones? I think we can get a nice shot of something under that rock over there. I saw scurrying.
So Kirby will get the camera. Oh, were you gonna hop in? Oh, yeah. Kirby's gonna like get low and like try to get an angle for the people, like to show like they can capture y'all looking. So if whoever wants to get like a first person POV with their camera and themselves, they have space to do so.
All right. Depending on what it is, we could even get it to stick boy. Gesticulates third chain.
I
It
was
might probably
gonna-
go on the stick, and then you can like raise it to catch a good light in that bit where the sun manages to pierce. But he kneels down, puts his hand on a rock, like moving in a way that the rest of his body is out of the direction of how he's going to lift the rock. And when he raises it, You guys see first the shine of beady eyes, and then you see the like twig-like big legs of plate-sized tarantula, and he raised it partially. He's like, and it immediately rears back a bit and raises two front legs to show Callister, and he's like, all right. He angles back because he didn't think it was going to be that big, but you guys see something else under it. It's two of its hind legs are on collars that don't belong in the forest. Not in this form, at least. It appears to be a rectangle, like hard lines that don't occur in the natural world, and you see a little bit of white, blue, little strip of red that the rest of the large spider is covering. All right, I think you can get your shot. I will try to finish lifting the rock and back away from it. And he exposes it completely. So there's that enormous spider. When he gets out of its face, the spider kind of calms down a bit. But it appears to be ready to bolt. It moves slowly, inquisitively towards the nearest set of boots. Who has the camera?
Oh, Kirby has the big one, but I don't know if anyone scooted closer or anything.
Shane would have scooted closer, and he also would have like had lacrosse stick down and sort of ready to herd it away. Not hurt it, but to like shift it along as needed.
Yeah, and Ricky was definitely trying to be like little brother to Jeanette and get her to like be in more risky shots and like interact with animals more, because her whole thing is she's trying to launch an ice cream brand in Chicago, and so he's now trying to get her to do like centipede ice cream or spider ice cream. So I think they're jostling around Kirby, but maybe not making the best shot, composed shot, because she definitely is the most squeamish with the bugs. So maybe Shane is closer, I guess.
The guide removes a thing that looks like a little vial with holes poked on top, and he reveals that he had been saving one live grub. Nice. I figured this might happen. If anybody wants to make it walk away a little bit, you guys might even film a takedown. And the spider is definitely... It freezes and starts walking slowly because it is surrounded by giants right now. Anybody wants to toss a grub and maybe call a little bit of attention? Or you guys not doing that?
I think Valeria would be down to do that. She would like take the grub from Miguel and be like, "Okay, let's see what happens." How do I want to do this? Do I just want to like? Is it like a dog? Like, here you go.
Just toss the grub within like a foot of distance from it. Foot, I think that's the measurements you guys use. And once you do, the spider, there isn't much of a rearing back. It just flashes forward and wraps around. It's really quick. It's going to look kick-ass in slow-mo. And behind it, the thing it was on top of was a case of cigarettes. Ooh. And Miguel is immediately like, "Oh, what is that? That's not from one of my people. I am sure of it. That's not from my tour. Not from my tour." The spider has grabbed and is just staying there, doing its thing where it liquefies the insides of the prey and looking incredibly menacing. You guys got a brutal takedown shot that's definitely going to look good on Ricky's stuff. And he lifts it, and I think at least one of you would probably have a little bit of an interest in like vintage things in Americana. This is an old brand of cigarettes, like a movie. It would have showed up in a movie even. This is from somewhere around the 1960s, 1970s, and a pack of American cigarettes.
Does it look like it's from the 60s or 70s, or does it look like fairly new?
It looks very old. It was kind of dirty, but probably the stone prevented it from getting even dirtier whenever it popped on top of it. But
does it look smokable?
Do you want to open it?
Yes. I think Ricky wants to go for it if the spider is not like a dangerous threat to these cigarettes.
The spider is dragging its prize away from you.
Ah,
If nobody stands in the way, it will definitely get to another little hidey place. There is one remaining cigarette. It is fairly crushed because there was a rock on top of it. But you could try. It is incredibly soggy.
oh no.
But it's weird because you look at it and you're like, this is old. How long has this been here? Do any of you guys know the brand or something? Like, this isn't from any of my people. If I catch anybody leaving stuff in the forest,
Yeah, my grandpa used to smoke that brand, and it smelled pretty nasty, but he was definitely into it. I don't think
Oh,
they
that's odd.
exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
yeah, I've never seen the brand around here either. So probably from abroad. But you guys are saying this is pretty old.
Yeah.
That's weird. Well, keep an eye out. If people have been around here littering, I would like to remove their trash from the forest as much as I can. I would not advise you lighting that up.
Oh yeah,
Even if you
it's
can
soggy,
make it,
it's-
even if you can light it up, it has been exposed to all the microbes and all the things that are around here. You don't want, what sorts of undiscovered species of fungi and bacteria are in the forest? A lot, probably. Or, I don't know, parasitic eggs. Don't put it in your mouth.
almost too late. But yeah, if it's soggy, then yeah, I don't think that's it.
Oh my God, Ricky, real quick. Oh, are you taking it?
He is going to take it and put it in a bag unless you want to do something with it.
Real quick. I mean, I don't want the cigarette itself, but like the box. Can we look at the box real quick and like Kirby, come here, and like Kirby's gonna like zoom in and like try to like get a good shot of the box, and Jeanette's gonna like, if you're holding onto it, Ricky's gonna ask for it to like look over the box and like flip it over and stuff. Is there anything like written on the box, or is it just saying like typical packaging that's faded in time? Or is there anything like
I am going to make up an old school U.S. cigarette brand. It's going to be Lone Star.
Lone
It's
Star.
definitely the colors of the flag, and written on it is like 1970 special, and then a blur of stuff.
Oh my God, these are like so old. That is so cool. Here you go.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
cool.
just some litter, but yeah, I mean, it's cool that a spider wanted to eat it. Like, that's weird. I think Jeanette maybe is looking at it also curiously and like has like an older has seen her uncle or something smoke these, but it's just some old dead brand.
Yeah.
Well, I'm putting it away and taking it out of the forest for sure. All right, you guys got a shot. I got to clean up the forest a little bit. That's great. Moving. You guys get to the edge of the water, and in this part, it's kind of rushy a little bit, so it takes you along the edge of the river for a little while. And in here, you guys are not so, covered by the canopy, so you actually get some sun on your face. It's wild how hot it is, while also almost not being touched by the sun until you get close to some water. There's enormous, pieces of vegetation that float on top of the water. Once you get to the more placid area, you see insects skidding across the top. Not only the traditional long-leggy ones, but also you see a spider glide on top of the water and then dive towards what you think was a frog, and you see a little bit of an alligator head just swiveling slowly close to the other side of the riverbank. There's a little bit of pebbles around here. All right, definitely walking a little bit more because of the alligator, but this is a good spot. We're probably going to get some good fishing here. It's at least 15 meters to the other side of the water, and it's dark, muddy water. Fun fact, I think there have been sightings of sharks in some of the rivers coming from the ocean. There's a species that can swim past the brackish water, and they come up to lay eggs. We should be very, very far from the coast, but at least one has been found. Catching a shark would be pretty wild. I'm not counting on it. Honestly, the crocodiles probably got to them first. I always forget if in Brazil we have crocodiles or alligators, and I'm going to say the guide is suffering the same confusion, because here we call them jacaré. So he sets everything up for you guys to. He has these collapsible fishing rods that look really sturdy and potentially weaponizable in a pinch. With like sturdy lines and the hooks and stuff. Okay, I got the bait right here. So how about you guys all get paired up to do this? I have 5 rods with me. I'm not going to be fishing myself. This is for you. I'm fishing all the time when I'm not at work. Try to catch some big ones. There's a lot of very, very tasty fish that we can, wrap around in some big leaves to cook for lunch. We can skewer. All right. So who's pairing up?
I'm going to like hold the camera because Kirby wanted to get onto this. So like Kirby, sorry, bud, you're gonna get in the camera, and Kirby's just gonna like shrug. They're not really talkative. They're kind of like the point me in a direction. I'm kind of chill. I'll lift everything. So kind of person. So they'll like grab a rod and be like, I guess whoever wants to join me can. And Julia's got the camera getting ready to take shots of y'all.
Yeah, Shane is more like, I don't need to pair up with anyone. I've been fishing my whole life. And meanwhile, Valeria will pair up with someone else and be like, okay, all right, bud.
I think Jeanette would like to pair up with Valeria, and maybe I think Ricky is probably gonna just wait and pair up with whoever's left. Like he's actually a little shy, weirdly enough, about some of this kind of adult human stuff as opposed to like being goofy on camera. So
yeah, I think Shane wanted to be alone. Ricky can pair up with Kirby if Ricky don't want to take his own rod.
Yeah, no, I think Ricky would be like a good like he can talk, and then Kirby's actually doing the fishing. I think.
Yeah.
That works. All right. You guys are going to need a little bit of patience, but the waters here are absolutely teeming. I know it is a legal time to be fishing in these regions, so we should be fine. And he leaves you to it and goes walking around a bit and mumbling something in Portuguese. You guys catch like one word that at this point means trash. So he's probably mumbling about the gringos leaving all their lixo around here.
Yeah, that tracks.
And just goes walking around a little bit. Fishing minigame.
And time to catch a shark.
The sky, like it's very beautiful blue and bright, but you can see a little bit of clouds advancing from the east. Okay, let me see what would be a fun thing for you guys to use.
Yeah, should we roll wits or guts or something, or is this a cool activity, fishing in the Amazon?
I'll say that if somebody is feeling very dexterous and wants to get like on top of one of the big rocks close to the edge and try to spear fish, he has 2 slender spears as well. So I'll offer that option.
That sounds like a Shane activity.
That's a Shane deal. Because it's very much like, yeah, okay, I could totally do this.
Ricky wants to get in the shot with Shane.
Yeah, bud, let's go.
Yeah, trying to get Jeanette, and is joking about shark ice cream and crocodile ice cream, and she's ignoring him at this point. Yeah, I think Shane is actually the only one who's going to spearfish, right?
Yeah, I think spearfishing is a cool thing for sure.
Ooh.
Unless you go for something unreasonably large. I will roll to see if you can try to spearfish something unreasonably large.
Yeah. I think he would go for the very big thing over the, you know, how do I want to say this? I don't think he would try and do the dexterous thing. I think he would try and do the, like, okay, let me try and haul this out.
Yeah, that could be guts as well. You're going to try to fish something large and brute force it to the edge using the spear as a lever.
Cool. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. He used to do
Alrighty.
lacrosse, which is very dexterous based, but he doesn't do that anymore. He just is like a lifting guy.
Kind of wobble knee.
No, he does. His ACL got
As a
torn in
lifting guy
college.
with a parkour knee injury, I can relate.
Yes, exactly. So I have
Cool.
3 in guts for Shane.
Yeah. Do you have any of your traits that you think applies?
Let's see.
Reminder that you guys can use this time to try to think about how your characters relate to each other with the relationship mechanics.
I'm gonna say that Shane is starting to think of Ricky as like a pledge bro, where he can like, you know, he's like, oh, I can shape this, I can mold this guy, I can mold this kid.
Yeah, that's funny. Ricky is definitely thinking of Shane as a prop, like an NPC, you know, background
Yes.
person who can be used to make his videos more popular to, you know, with certain audiences.
I mean, that tracks.
I love that.
So they're forming the same bond, but for like opposite reasons.
Yes. That works. But yeah, I mean, his traits are mostly like he's a gymspiration, and he doesn't do the dexterous movement well anymore. He is just a brute force. So,
Alrighty.
what you want me to roll?
I think you can roll with guts. If you can have some sort of clever idea that can factor in, you are at the moment standing on top of some slippery rock with your wobbly knee, so that's 1 die away.
Okay. No, I think
you
that's
are kind
reasonable.
of you are kind of catering to your audience as a inspiration Joe Rogan adjacent person, so I would probably get you at least you could probably use that trait for that. And because it's the first time you're doing it in this act, that's 2 dice. So you got 5, remove 1. You roll
And
4 dice.
Juliet is like, take your shirt off and make it the content better.
You didn't even need to, like, you started saying that and it was off. Done. Yes. Okay, so we have 4 dice then.
Yes.
All right. I have a 5 and a 6. And a 3 and a 4.
That's-
So 2 successes.
2 successes. You spend some time just waiting, because if you're going to try to fish something out with your hand-eye coordination, you're not going to try to fish anything small. It's quite a bit of time in which you're just semi-flexed and ready.
Yeah.
Good content.
Which is good.
And then you see like a little fish appear, and then a bigger fish just and close around it, and this thing looks like it's going to be at least like 3 feet in length, and you just plunge. There is a meaty impact, and the water and the inertia of the fish swimming kind of tries to take it away. You grab the lower edge with your other hand, and you yank it down, and you pull it until it's touching the rock, and you start to pull it up, and it's more than 3 feet. It's a long boy. It's like it's as long as a short person is tall. It's you have acquired I think the guide mentioned it's a pirarucu, and he's like, oh my god, that's a first in a bit, and he rushes over to try to get the fish away from the water, because the thing is thrashing and splashing and hitting you, and there's a little bit of blood, and the spear is almost out, and the guide throws himself on top of the fish and kind of half hugs it. Okay, get the spear out. I got it.
Okay.
And starts to take it to the edge, while the rest of you are just like waiting, kind of chill. And there's a little in one of the boys. Camera person. Oh my god, the content is happening over there now. So I'm going to say Jeanette and Valeria have definitely a little bit of action happening, and now it's okay. When do I yank? When's it firmed up?
When it starts to when the line starts to go, and you know it's not just the current taking it. That's when you start to slowly, and then Valeria is like talking Jeanette through this.
Yeah, Jeanette is actually has been fishing before. Is not necessarily good at it, but has been fishing on the Great Lakes many times with her family, and is just completely pretending to like not know anything because she's very good at that, and is kind of that's kind of her deal is like not like dumb girl, but like, oh, you're like gonna explain stuff to me, and I'm like, oh wow, really? And then people click like and follow. So yeah, she's into that, but she's actually doing whatever one would do. Just fine. So
Well, and it makes better
Alrighty.
content to have someone explain it on camera.
yeah,
Diegetically.
and she's not
Alrighty.
talking about ice cream or anything. She's trying to be the very sincere like noob who's like, please tell me about the Amazon. It's actually interesting because it is actually very interesting. So she's being the like straight man of the the bunch in that sense.
Alrighty, so I can see that being both about being smart and remembering how to do things, and about fine motor skills. So you can go with either cool or wits.
Who is rolling, Kelly or me?
Yeah, I was going to ask. You guys can both have things and just be close together, and one of you guys can choose to be the one who's currently rolling. Wythe didn't roll yet, so
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say Valeria wants to do the assist.
Okay, we can be Paraku pals. Well, I have 3 cool or 2 wits. So, I mean, Leo, is this something where you tell me or I tell you in our in this?
You can go with cool. That's fine.
Okay, great. Then I will roll 3 cool for my lifestyle vlogger learns to fish, but has actually fished a lot. This is just a different area. She got a 3, a 2, and a 4. So not
Three,
great.
a 2, and a 4. Is the Great Lakes thing something you wrote down as a trait?
No, I would have to swap out one of my real traits.
Very well. So
I'm just
you're
making
not
crap.
adding dice from that. So you are so preoccupied with appearing clueless that it divides your attention a little bit. And even though you knew better, you kind of do a bit of a more forceful yank than you were supposed to at that moment. And there's just a line flying back, no fish, and somebody might get hooked right now.
Oh no.
So I am going to roll d6 here and tell one of you to try to not get lined.
Yeah.
And that would still be you, wife.
Okay, can I take a drama point and say Ricky gets lined real bad, or is that I don't know how that works either. I'm
I think he's a bit far away
okay.
because he was with Shane. So just real quick, do a cool roll. I just want to see if you come out of this with a battle scar. I'm not injuring characters just yet.
You can definitely enter characters. Oh, I got a 5, a 6, and a 1.
Oh hell yeah.
With a 5, you manage to sidestep it, but it grabs onto your let's see, it grabs part of your backpack and it grabs, and you're like, fuck, it's stuck. And when you pull it, kind of tears up a little bit of the strap, so it's a bit of a faulty backpack strap right now because it impacted it. It's good that it didn't hit your shoulder, but you're probably going to have to kind of be a little careful with how you move with it. Don't go chucking it around. If you run, it's probably going to start to fray. In terms of the relationships,
Yeah.
We don't have an option that is about I am using this person, but I could see a sort of strange friendship. If you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, are we talking
Um,
about Jeanette and Valeria or someone else?
I'm going back to.
Or you're going back to Shane and
going
Ricky?
back to Shane and Ricky because I was thinking about the stuff you said.
Mhm.
So like the basic relationship options would be something like you're becoming best buddies, or somebody is starting to become attracted to someone, and maybe consider that someone a bit of a love interest. There can be rivalry, there can be hatred, there can be somebody who considers themselves a sidekick to someone else.
I feel like they both consider the other a sidekick.
I was going to say the same thing. It's asymmetric.
They
That's fine.
both are asymmetrically like connected.
They both have protagonist syndrome for very different reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's fun. That's fun. There is a drawback and a plus to this. When you guys are helping each other, you'll be exempted from the consequences of the action, but also you are both going to be a little bit hesitant because you will expect the other person to do something first. So that's you get free from the consequence of failure from helping the other person, but I will definitely be subtracting at least one die when that happens.
Okay, I
So
love this.
take note.
Let's do
Because
it.
it's a mutual sidekick relationship born from the fact that men suck at communicating, apparently.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly what this is all about. Yeah.
We can't use words.
Yeah. What would that even be like?
Okay, cool. There is no fish over there, but the one you guys caught is definitely food for all of y'all. Those fish are massive. You guys can spend a little more time doing things. The sky is like getting slightly more cloudy slowly. The guy looks up, is like, "Oh, we might get a little bit of a drizzle. I'm not expecting anything major, but stay on your toes. We're still going to go to high ground. Should probably be good. Let's light a fire. Let's open a little pit over here." And in the process of opening the pit, there is another thing that you guys find out of place. Who is volunteering to, open the fire pit and go get wood and try to make a fire happen?
I think Kirby will, because like they're pretty chill and they like helping. So like point them to do tasks, they'll automatically go into it.
When you are like separating the river pebbles to make a little bit of a pit and a little bit of a circle, that's kind of golden colored, and you dig your fingers in a little bit, and there are bullet casings amid the pebbles. 1, 2, 3, and then you walk up, and if you walk up a little bit more, you will find another one closer to the trees, half buried. And these are also kind of old. They are corroded from the humidity, but they are definitely bullet casings.
And you say I found like what, 2, 3?
You find a little bit of a handful. Might have been somebody take a couple shots in quick succession, or just one quick spray of something automatic. You don't know.
Yeah, and I think they'll, pause getting wood and like collect these and just like bring it back. Like, hey, like I found this. Just I know you're collecting trash, Miguel. So here you go. They look
Good.
old as shit.
They do. Might have been from illegal hunters around here. Huh. I have no idea what sort of gun shoots these. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Not my area of expertise, but that's weird. Kind
So-
of big casings.
Yeah, I think that Shane, as an American who grew up in America, he probably would be like, "Oh yeah, that's like a high caliber whatever." He would know the basics of it and be like, "Can I have those actually, Miguel? Because I think I could turn them into keychains and sell them to my followers." And be like, "Here, have a part of this trip."
Oh, but what if we each got one, and then we each made one keychain, and then it's like a special, like like the One Ring, or like the LeBron card with all the jerseys on it.
Yeah, I don't know
Like,
what that is, but I guess that also is cool.
you don't know what the One Ring is? Oh my fucking god.
Or or oh my god, or like you can have them and have like the extras because y'all all have one, and like you can like raffle them off in order for y'all to get more cloud followings.
Kirby,
That's what I'm
you're
saying.
so
Yeah.
smart.
That I'm actually Julietta, but
Oh,
like
I'm
you're
sorry,
welcome.
Julietta.
But Kirby could have thought that too, and Kirby's like, I wouldn't have thought that.
Julietta, next level stuff.
And this is why y'all hate me.
I will say that Shane is pretty sure that this is something that came out of like a standard issue military rifle. This didn't come out of a pistol.
Yeah, no.
Well, might have some reporting to do to our environmental agencies around here. I don't know how often they come around these parts. You said these are old.
Yeah, they look.
Yeah.
They look like they've been in the. I don't know if it's because of the dirt or like what
Those
it
shells
could
are
be.
brass.
Yeah, they don't use brass anymore. I don't know. I don't know gun stuff.
I'm
knowledge.
skating. I'm skating right now.
I also don't know gun stuff, so
No, I'm surface level right now.
Yeah,
So
I
there's
have
no
been
dead
into
check
gun
over
stuff as a teenage boy, as most of them are, but I forgot most of the knowledge.
Mhm.
All right, in the bag, I'll probably walk around a little bit. The fish is going to take a little while to cook, but I got the appropriately sized leaves. You guys can just hang out and chill. I got a couple bits in skewers as well, so secondary pit. Anybody need to fill up their water again? I'm going to be heating up some water and mixing the right stuff to make it drinkable.
Definitely.
Okie dokie.
We're staying hydrated. This is team hydrated over here.
Yes.
Let's get that hashtag going. Do we have cell service, or am I able to get a hashtag going?
You do not, in fact. Your sat phone thing that you paid a lot for is currently out of commission.
Oh, come on.
That's fine. It's cool to do location shoots and edit it later. It's just, it's fun. It's just we lose a little bit of the, we got to kind of remember the energy. I'm just saying, guys, just let's try to remember this moment, right? Like this is what life's about, right? Vibes, like real talk. Let's go. We're here. We're in the Amazon.
Ricky, have
We
you
don't
ever
have
gutted
Wi-Fi.
a
Talk to
fish?
each other.
Yeah, I have actually gutted fish many times, but I've never gutted a picaru, and this fish is ginormous. This is Godzilla the fish. We get like Kirby like lots of shots of just of the maybe can I play with the fish like it's talking like a weekend at Bernie's.
Yes.
And Kirby's taking the camera back from Julietta now that they're done fishing and like done the wood stuff, so they're back to being the quiet observer.
Okay, I think Ricky is now doing the Scooby-Doo voice with the picaru's jaws, and just talking as the fish and being like, "I allow you to eat my guts. I died so you may live." I don't know if that's massively disrespectful, but she's throwing darts at walls, seeing what's going to look good in the edit.
The guide has a bit of a raised eyebrow. Doesn't seem to mind it that much. Like, you guys hunted, you guys are going to eat whatever. But definitely the first time you see somebody going with a dead fish. He is looking genuinely uncomfortable with the finding of the bullets and stuff. Like, he almost said something and then he shut his mouth. He's just looking pensively into the water and then kind of scanning the river's edge. He gets up and definitely fishes something else out of the river's edge and sticks it in a pocket. You guys have a nice lunch. It is very Instagrammable. He brought some spices, to his credit, because he knows part of the charm is you fish the thing and you use the appropriate spices and stuff, and you guys are. It will be so exciting when we get to the community, because then you guys are going to have like a proper feast with all the traditional things. There is a type of local leaf that's going to get your mouth all buzzy. It's really fun.
Like buzzy, like drugs, or like what? Just like spicy? What's? I have so many questions.
Or
It's
sort of like pineapple, where it's an enzyme that like
Right.
messes with you.
Or is it like,
he
or is it
pauses.
kava, where it's like that like numbing like tea stuff?
Sort of like
Yeah.
that. It's going to make you produce more. This is the guy talking. It's going to make you like produce a little bit more. You're going to salivate more, and you're going to feel a little bit of a sensation in your mouth. It's really, really nice. Actually, folks around here also make cachaça with it, so it goes in. It goes good in alcohol. There's also you guys have acai out there, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, I love
There-
acai bowl.
Totally.
You
That's
can
why we're
also
here.
do savory things with that, and the jambu leaf goes in those, and you get some dried up shrimp in there. It's a good time. It's a good time, and you're probably not going to have it anywhere else.
All right.
This is awesome.
So he definitely pocketed something and didn't talk about it. He's just constantly scanning. You guys have a nice, very Instagrammable lunch and back on the trail. The days are long here, and it's quite a bit of walk. And it takes a little while before he finds something else interesting again. He just shows it to you that there's like a big snake over at the water's edge, and then you keep walking. Apologies. So it was just there. But he just shows you glimpses of animal life, and he shows you interesting plants, and he scrubs some mushroom off the side of a tree and mentions that those are actually edible and pretty good. Later. And because you guys are close to the water's edge, you realize that the day is darkening prematurely.
What time is it?
Oh.
Are we like? This isn't in our timeline at all.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely not. It shouldn't be getting dark this soon. The sky's gray. We might take a little bit of a detour, guys. I'm going to want to find some elevated terrain earlier, because if it rains big, the river's going to swell, and we're not going to want to be here. All right, everyone, get your backpacks extra tight and follow me. We're going to go. We're going to have to be adaptable now.
Adventure.
Little nervous, little shaky. Yeah, definitely an adventure. Over the shoulder, power walking.
Right.
Yeah, I think before we leave though, Kirby grabs Shane's shirt that he threw on the ground. He's like, "You gonna need
Oh,
this."
thanks, dude. And he like just ties it around the backpack, not putting it back on. But Valeria has followed Kirby's lead and has like a very cute bandana going on. It's not as useful as Kirby's, but it's like, look.
I'm being outdoorsy.
Yeah.
He starts to kind of usher you to being faster. There's one point where he just stops and he just very visibly sniffs the air and looks troubled. The guy been out, and he has been out in the places that don't have a name. So when you're out, you're not somewhere, you're just out.
Mm-hmm.
And he is getting concerned. And that's when you hear the first crack of thunder.
Oh my god.
And it all drops at once. It's not just a little trickle. You don't hear a little bit of a bit of pitter patter on the trees. It's one like heavy fist of rain in a big sheet. All right, moving.
All right, Kirby's like taking a pause real quick to like grab out the camera wrap and to like wrap the camera so it doesn't
Yeah.
get damaged in the rain. And then like so y'all probably running off, and Kirby's gonna like take a second and then like probably he's trailing behind y'all. Camera protected in tow.
Yeah, Shane like panics and tries to find a rain jacket at this point, and like is being a nuisance more than you would think, or the appropriate amount depending on how well you would understand this guy. But yeah, they're booking it. They're trying to get on their way.
My question
Yeah,
is, how much of Jeanette's makeup has melted off, and same thing with Valeria? Like, did y'all even wear makeup, or I mean, I think y'all are the type of people who wear makeup, right? Like, no matter
Yeah.
where
Jeanette looks perfect. I mean, she brought a very appropriate hat that's wide brimmed, that's waterproof. Like she bought all nice like REI like waterproof stuff, and so just has on his like changed. I said, there's like put on a poncho and like a hat, and still looks basically the same and unflapped, but also hasn't sped up much. So she's probably toward the back, like maybe Kirby's at the back, and Jeanette's just like not really concerned about some rain. I think Ricky's trying to keep up with Shane. So if Shane is panicking, Ricky's just assuming that's where the action is. But yeah, no, Jeanette seems like she's enjoying like a walk through the woods. This is very pretty.
5 minutes later, the rain has become concerning. There are like rivulets swirling around as you go by. Your feet are sinking a lot, and the lightning is getting more intense. And Miguel looks at like he grabs his cell phone, looks at a thing. This is not good. He is looking less confident. Like leaving the itinerary that he does every single time makes him look like he's almost as lost as you.
Is there anything that we can do, Miguel, to help out, or not be a pain in the ass?
You guys are doing great. Just stay close. Don't get spread too thin on a big line. If you hear like sounds of say monkeys or other stuff in a direction, that might mean there's a little bit of more direct terrain that way, so we could do that. And as you guys are walking, talking, there is another loud crack of thunder, and you hear a sound that's almost as loud of something snapping, and you hear, and like you see the sky next to you darken even more because something in the canopy is going in your direction. So a tree just got lightning blasted and it's falling in your direction. And I'm going to say that the people who are closer to the front would be the guide. Valeria was talking to him. Who else is close to the front?
I think Julietta's close to the front too.
Was Shane close to the front and thus Ricky, or not really? We're kind of in the middle?
Not really. I think we're in the middle or the rear.
Got it.
So you guys are walking, talking, and then suddenly you realize that a tree got hit really hard. And it could have been a cause for concern in another forest, because lightning on trees could raise a fire, but you guys are not, say, in Australia. You guys are in the jungle and things are so wet right now. And I would like you all to tell me how you managed to avoid getting hurt by, if not the main shaft of the tree, all the branches and the tops of the smaller trees that it is dragging with it.
That's a great question.
And is it just affecting the group in the front, or is it affecting everybody?
It's just the front people. The people who are a little behind have a bit more of time to fall back and avoid danger.
Yeah, I think for Julietta, she sees it and like is calculating the way it's like quickly calculates the way it's falling, just because like, okay, it's falling in this direction, so I need to move that direction, and just immediately just turns hill and just like takes off in the other direction, just a couple meters.
Okay, so that's a sprint. That's like raw physical power.
Yeah, I mean, she's not physical, but like we could do it. I'll go for it.
Alrighty. I think that feels like a good use of guts right now.
All right.
You are not trying to sidestep cleverly. You're like, I'm going to outrun gravity. Fuck it. Do you have any traits that you feel like it applies?
No, but maybe. She does not like being alone. So one of my traits is I actually have a fear of being alone. So it's why I'm constantly keep myself busy and around others. So maybe her like knowing that she's separating from the group could be an issue for herself.
I could see adding one die from that. What's your guts?
My guts is a 2. So
2.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so that would be 3 dice.
Okay.
I'm taking 1 away because you're taking off on soggy ground that's trying to get your boots off of your feet.
That's so valid.
So you're going to be rolling 2
2
dice total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
A 2 and a 1. So
I'll get back to you in a bit. I would like to remind Wythe and Kelly that each of you has 1 drama point from establishing character relationships.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just a reminder that you guys have those.
And those are shared across characters, just so I understand?
Yes.
Or is that...
Yes,
okay,
it's per player. Yeah.
Okay.
So how are the other characters attempting to escape? I will tell you what Miguel is doing in a bit.
So Valeria would be kind of reading what Miguel's doing and trying to take cues from that, but is definitely like, okay, let me kind of do an assist, because that's kind of like what her role is. Her role is kind of like, okay, I am the prop. I am the person who's helping the other person. So she probably would want to try and help Julieta however she could, but she's also taking full cues from what Miguel is doing. And if she would see what he's doing and then follow and do that as quickly as possible.
Yeah. He doesn't turn back and run. He goes like exactly perpendicular away from the direction of the falling tree, because he assumes that's going to be the shortest path from out of harm's way. He kind of flips really quickly and plants the foot on a bit of a jutting root. This guy can like do the visual calculus of the terrain really fast, so he just turns 90 degrees around and kind of does a standing long jump that should end with him running over there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to take cues and follow what he's doing, I think cool is a very good use of that.
Okay.
You're
Cool.
staying calm, and instead of following the person that took off running like crazy, you're like, what's the guy who knows the place doing?
Yeah.
Hold on.
So, okay, I have 2 cool.
Any traits that you believe apply? I have your sheets here. I can look too, because I know it's a bit of a new system.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. So I did write up that she has a fear of trains, and I think that the sound of something barreling down on you is fairly like, I think it's fairly adjacent to that, and it's kind of like, I
Yeah.
need to get out of the way and I need to move now. So that might be a good negative trait to apply.
Alrighty, so you want to take away 1 die from your test.
Yeah.
Very well. And because you made the decision to hold on just a split second more and see what the expert is doing, I will say that counts as ingenuity. So those neutralize.
Cool.
So don't take anything away. Don't add from the ingenuity. 2 dice.
Oh. Okay, it dropped, but it's on a 5.
I'll take
So
it.
I have a 5 and a 3.
Okay, a 5. You managed to follow exactly as he did. Like your feet hit the same places. The water is not even done rippling from how he stepped, and your foot just goes right on top, and you follow suit.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing that, I think I'm going to say you drop a piece of equipment or you inconvenience. Who else still needs to go? Was Jeanette around too, or no?
No, Jeanette's toward the back. She's probably slipping
Okay,
and
Jeanette and
sliding.
Ricky are to the back.
And so is Shane.
Okay.
Shane was like floundering around.
Okay, success with a consequence. You
I think she maybe
managed to-
twisted her ankle. Like she got there, but then also like
hurt herself in the process.
I am not going to give you an injury just yet, but
Oh,
in the
okay.
process of doing it, I'm going to say you realize you have to lose your backpack, otherwise you're going to sink too much because of one missed step.
Oh yeah, she
So your
loses it
stuff
then.
is being left behind. You don't have any equipment you can call on later. You just, ugh! And that gives you the extra oomph of being unencumbered to get out of the way.
Cool. Let's
Back
do it.
to Julieta. Your foot sinks hard into the mud, and you fall face first. And because the water is high, like your entire head is under the water for a moment, and your foot is planted. You're injured. Everybody else, the other people who are to the back, you guys see her face plant, and then the rest of and then like a huge chunk of canopy crash down around her. And you don't know if any of that hits. I'm giving panic points to Shane, Ricky, and Jeanette.
Ooh.
And you are at the moment trapped under a whole bunch of branches that are tangled together, and you could drown if nobody gets you out of the water.
Oh my
You're
god.
currently injured.
Nature.
So yeah, you guys just see the boom. There's a rumble. The ground around you shakes. The tree that just got felled by lightning was probably not doing too good already. It might have been rotten. But it's like so big that it would take a pretty big man to be able to hug around the circumference of the tree. We're talking like ginormous ape index, elite rock climber wingspan. And it just hits the floor and brings a bunch of canopy, and then you just see Julieta covered. And there's a moment of, oh shit, did she die? And you see her hands just out of the... trying to crawl out, but her foot is pinned under a whole bunch of tree matter and mud.
Well, who all is affected by the trees? It's not just Julieta, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to give Julieta one panic as well.
Okay.
You guys, so Ricky, Jeanette, and Shane are also taking panic points. The other two didn't see this. The other two ran the other way and managed to avoid the worst of the tree.
Right, but we're not.
And
Just to be clear, we're panicking, but we're not trapped. We're just like we saw
Yeah.
Julieta get trapped, and we're like.
I think
freaking out for
Kirby
her.
also saw this too, so I'm giving Kirby a panic point.
Yeah, I just gave you all... yeah, Kirby too. You are correct. You guys all get a panic point, which I am not going to... I think Kirby is going to have to roll to see if he doesn't panic as well.
Okay.
Kirby is the one who's sort of with you, sort of a working duo, and seeing somebody he's been working with for a while get potentially smashed into a pulp wasn't too good for him. So I want you...
Leave me roll.
I'm going to check the panic thing. I think I might not request the roll yet. I have to see a little thing. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, so you start the game with one panic. You just got your second panic point. So you have to roll a d6.
Okay. A 1.
Okay. If you roll equal to or under your current panic score, your character is going to do something unwise, detrimental, maybe dangerous, maybe not. But what I know he is not doing right now is actually try to save Julieta, because he is losing his shit. Well, they are losing their shit. Sorry.
Yeah, they're very it's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like they're just kind of like in a frozen panic of just like that, just like frozen in fear sort of thing. Like, I can't believe this is happening, and like the world's just like moving around them, and like they think it's only for a split second, but it's really just a lot longer than they actually realize.
Yeah. They don't even notice the hand trying to get the face out of the water. It's just fuck. Of the party that is to the back and saw this, is anybody jumping in to do something, and if so, what?
I think Ricky runs forward to try to help Julieta, and I think Jeanette is not frozen, but just not really sure how to help immediately, so she's probably a little slower to react. But yeah, I mean, if it's just like a physical, we need to move this thing off her, then I think Ricky's trying to help.
Alrighty. The water is rushing fast. There is probably another stream somewhere around here. So not only is the river behind you swelling, there's water from another thing swelling somewhere else. At this point, like it's closing in on your knees. Miguel turns around, sees that Kirby is frozen stiff with a face of horror. Kirby's panic resets to 1 because they're losing it. And Miguel's like, he pulls on Valeria's arm and is like, stick together. We have to go there and help. There's somebody under the tree. And he gets a little bit of a little saw out of the bag, and he's like, we might have to saw through some of this. And he runs up to try to help. So Ricky is definitely leading the charge. I would like to know what Shane is doing.
Shane is also like, a team member is in danger. Also, they had the cameras. Oh wait, no, Julieta, but she's the one who like knew what stuff was going on, and he's like, oh, I need to help her because she knew what the hell was going on. So he's jumping in and he wants to start lifting things. That's something he's good at. This is good for me.
Good at correctly. I will say that because Wythe jumped into this first, Wythe is going to be leading the check. You can contribute a die to no detriment, but there is a moment of you go, I go, because both of you are each other's sidekicks. So there is a moment of hesitation that will be detrimental to the breathing of the person who's under there. And then Miguel arrives with the little saw and is like, we have to get some of it out of the way. And he's going to contribute a die as well.
So we rolling? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What is your guts?
Ricky has 2 guts. And yeah, definitely was waiting to see. Ricky is not that big or strong, so I was waiting for Shane to essentially lift the thing. But of course, Ricky also does genuinely want to help, is somewhat like brave. So you want me to roll the 2 dice, or what's going on here?
Yeah, let's see. You get 2 from guts. Helping. You are getting helped by your sidekick. Miguel is also jumping in to help, so that is another die.
So that's 4 total?
Yeah, and now I'm going to factor in some stuff. Because there was a little bit of hesitation, I think it's a case that one of those help die comes away. So we're
back to 3.
Moving one. Is there anything clever you think you can do to increase the chances? Maybe help Julieta breathe. Or something. I don't know.
I mean, no.
If
Short
I could
answer for my traits. No.
Additionally, Shane is still carrying his lacrosse stick and would absolutely like try and use that as a like something to help lift Julieta out.
Yeah, a little bit off system, but I think in this case, especially because of the relationship, get another die from that. So, okay, so total back 4.
Up to 4. Right?
Yeah.
Because my traits are food vlogger. I'm really good at darts, and then I have a secret that I'm very lonely. But yeah, so those are not helpful in this situation. All right, I'm gonna roll 4 dice. I got a 5, a 6, a 4, and a 1.
Okay, a 5 and a 6 is a success with no consequences. So you guys descend upon this cluster of branches and ripped off canopy. And Miguel is like sawing stuff off to try and make it easier for you to really get in there. And Shane is using the lacrosse stick as a lever and going, no, come on, you need to widen up your base. Think of this as a sumo deadlift.
What the hell is a sumo deadlift? Julieta, grab the stick.
And you just yank. And it lifts up enough that Julieta can start to lift herself out of the water, and then Miguel kind of chucks off the little saw to the side, grabs her arm. The boot stays on the floor, but your ankle is like rotated considerably.
Yeah. It's not pretty. And,
are you guys familiar with an entity from Brazilian folklore called the Curupira?
No, please tell me more.
Yeah.
It's a magical redhead from the forest with the feet pointing backwards.
Hey, Brazil is
terrifying.
cool.
Yeah, it really. is.
So it's not quite Curupira, but it's close. Your foot is really. There's definitely some tendon that's fully separated. It's bad,
Oh, that's
but they
bad.
get you off the mud. The
Yeah.
water is a little bit above the knee now.
Yeah, I think. Oh, thank y'all so much. Ow.
Kirby, did
Julieta,
you get
I have
that?
some energy drink. I have some energy drink in a bag. Take this.
No
It's
drinking, not right now. Can anybody carry her?
Korean protein jelly in a bag that's real. I cannot.
Protein jelly.
Looking at Shane.
Bag.
Here, I'll find a link.
Okay, Shane tries. His knee is fucked up, but he will try and get her on his back.
Depending on what the fucked upness is, that's fine. I have ample experience carrying shit with a bad knee, including my girlfriend.
There we go. Okay. So we'll use your base of knowledge for whatever Shane is going through.
That works. Just
Your
stay
pain is his
upright
pain.
and use your butt to walk. It will be fine.
Yeah.
Because there is a large chunk of canopy that is no longer there, you guys get a little bit of a view, and there's lightning sometimes lighting up this premature night into day. And in the distance, you see a big dark form, like a stolid shape. It could be a piece of terrain, it could be construction, although that would be unusual here where you are. And Miguel is like, fuck, my saw. There, we're going there. Whatever that is that's climbable, that the water should not get that high. We're going there.
Valeria also helps out by like taking Julietta's pack since she lost all of her stuff. She's like, okay, let me remove some weight. I'll either take Julietta's pack or Shane's pack and just like do an assist.
Look at that. We're joined by the guy who created the game.
Hey!
Hey, thank you.
Yo.
Yeah,
alrighty.
I mean, we're all trying to help each other as much as possible in this situation. I think is
And
right. Sounds like the vibe.
Yeah, and I think as Ricky yells back, it's like, "Did you get a shot?" I think Nelson Kirby snaps out of it, and they're like, I'm so sorry. It's still recording. It may have been aimed in that direction. I'm sorry. I was not. God.
It's all right. It's all right. We got it, bro. Let's do this, bro.
Yeah,
Gender
you guys
neutral.
Gender neutral, bro.
Gender neutral, bro. Yeah.
You guys are following the guy. He keeps like looking nervously over his shoulder just to make sure that all the baby ducks are in a row, and going toward that dark form beyond the trees. There is a moment in which in the water you guys just see a crocodile going on top of another tree that snapped, and the crocodile looks. It doesn't look as calm. Like, imagine if a crocodile could look frantic. It's moving quite a bit, almost like not wanting to get swept because things are getting hard here. Yeah. The guy makes you guys turn a little bit because doesn't want to get too close to the crocodile log. And you guys are trying to make it there as the water rises. You get to a point where the water is becoming unmanageable, especially for the carrying, and it's rushing quite fast. So you have to really. It's a complicated situation in which you don't want to sink in your foot too much, but if you step too lightly, the water is going to do away with you. Miguel kind of goes, fuck it, loses most of his stuff, keeps a rope and swims ahead, gets to the edge of the thing, and you guys now see that you are at the close to a little bit of an elevation with a big square building, very blocky on it, with a little bit of fence and like barbed wire. And he throws the rope and go, grab onto this, come on. I think most of you guys should be okay. I would like Shane to roll to hang on to this.
Yeah. What are we calling that? We're calling it guts and just like brute strength.
That feels like a case for guts. Yeah, you're hanging on to the rope. Your biceps are cramping. Your knees wobbling all over the place.
Yeah. All right.
And you have like a person desperately hanging onto your back.
So I have a 3 in guts. Do we want to say that a person on my back subtracts one of those?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is anybody helping? Helping exposes you to a bit more danger because you're not getting out of the water quick.
I think Jeanette is helping, if possible. I think she's tall enough that maybe there's a boost that would be helpful there.
Cool.
All right.
So we'll go
Okay,
back
so
to
that's
3.
an added die. If things get bad, both the people doing the check are getting hurt. Can Julieta help in any way?
I mean, she could definitely try. Like she's got arms and like could help like hold on to the rope as well and like help like pull them, like maybe like wraps her legs around like Shane's waist and like as best as she can without like touching her injured ankle, and like will help like pull as well. Shane's doing most of it, but she's helping guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What we're going to do is you will roll just the 3 of guts because there is a person on your back, and that is barely counteracted by the fact that the person on your back is pulling with the arms, and Jeanette is trying to be helpful here. So
Okay.
roll your guts.
3. So we got a 1, a 2, and a 4.
Oh yeah,
A
baby.
1, a 2, and a 4.
Good stuff.
All right. Your
Fuck me up.
knee,
God, FML.
folks. Just 1 second, real quick. Um, my brain just scattered a little bit because I had to answer to something. What happens is you are under the water,
Yeah.
but Juliette is not because she's on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
Jeanette, when that happens, and like he and Shane's knee gives way and he falls kind of sideways, he knocks you off and you are no longer holding the rope.
So with drama points, could I spend my drama point or not, because that's not my role? Does
You
that
use
work?
your drama points for your own roles. They might be useful now. The way it
Okay.
works is that you use drama to add 1 point of drama adds a die to the roll, or you wait until you roll and you burn all the drama you had. That sounded funny. And you burn all the drama you have to re-roll any failures. They can still land on failures again, but you have
Right.
to sacrifice all your current drama, which I think is 1.
Yeah, I have 1 drama. I should try and burn through that and try and reroll
Do
one.
you want to do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty.
Let's see. All right, one die rolling, and that's another 4.
Yeah, no, you're still hurt. Next time, because we're learning the new system, you announce when you roll that you're using the drama. But because you still have 1 left, you could burn it and re-roll everything to see if you get at least 1 success, or you just save it.
Yeah, I'm. I think I'm just gonna take the injury because I definitely my roll
Very
is
well.
bad right
So
now.
you make no progress, and your knee is definitely going to be very swollen, and you're going to have a hard time standing on it. And Jeanette got knocked off the rope, so now she's in a situation where she's going to have to try to swim to grab something because she's away from the rope. And I'm going to do her stuff first.
All right. Yeah, Jeanette is obviously thrashing around and yelling, "Help me!" and trying to grab the rope. So what do I do here?
Um,
She is
do-
cool under pressure. That's kind of her whole thing.
I would say that she might have equipment that's helpful. She has been knocked away from the one rope, but she can try to use her cool to throw a rope for somebody else to help her out, if that's the action you want to do. You could try to brute force it by swimming or really digging in your feet and holding your breath.
I think she would, if she's not the strongest person, and would probably throw a thing if she is able to do that, because she is 3 cool mechanically, but also, yeah, like brought a bunch of useful stuff, whatever was recommended on the trip, and still has her pack. So
Yeah, someone else lost the pack. You have yours.
yeah.
So you get something out of your handy pack and you prepare to try to throw it. Who's on the other end trying to grab it?
I think Valeria is definitely like trying to do a support.
Very well. Worst case scenario, you get pulled to the water with Jeanette.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone drowns in this scene. It's great.
I
Yeah.
love this.
Rocks
Great.
while everybody dies. There we go. Boom, done.
Roll
Great
credits.
TV. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, so I'm rolling 3 dice, or am I
Yes.
adding one for help?
I think you add one from the help, and if you have
Okay.
any trait that applies, you can also use that.
I don't really know. I forget how specific the traits are supposed to be. I have a thing about being cool under pressure when there was a shooting nearby, but it is not about drowning or throwing ropes or anything. So probably not.
You specifically made a point of being cool under pressure in life or death situations. It can be a thing that applies to too much stuff
Yeah.
in the game. So yeah, probably not. In a situation in which it's combat, I might make that a little bit more flexible.
Yeah, maybe gunfire
So-
is different than drowning. Okay, so I'm going to roll 4 dice.
Yeah, let's go.
I got a 5, a 3, a 4, and a 1.
Alrighty.
Not rolling so high.
You throw the rope. The rope is successfully caught by Valeria. And she immediately starts tugging. And you tug as well, and you feel your shoulder going a little, but you're pulling. And the two of you manage to succeed. You drag yourself over that way while Miguel is still like standing with his feet planted, trying to get the rope with the other people on it. And that's when we get back to Shane. But Jeanette is safe. Valeria has managed to bring her over to this side. I'm not applying consequences to Valeria because the check was partially successful. If it was a failure, then both of you were getting hurt.
Cool.
Janetta's like hugging Valeria and shivering, and she's just really like almost died.
We got it.
Consider
We got
relationships. Alrighty. Back to Shane and Julieta. Shane, injured. So we got quite a few people who are currently injured. Julieta is injured, but is with her head out of the water. That's nice.
Yeah.
Is this still a buddy system thing, or is there a disentangling going on?
Okay, so I think he wrenched his fucking knee. He's underwater. There's definitely some thrashing going on. And he would have had his arms around Julieta's legs to keep her in place. So I'm gonna say there's definitely some entangling, even if it's only around Julieta's like legs, because there's no way to go for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Julieta is like trying to get away so she can like allow him to get up. Just because
Alrighty.
he's got
Yeah,
her pinned down.
she better have strong arms on that rope.
She's done
I
her
will say
stints of
that
like
it's-
rock climbing.
There we go.
that's nice. And it's probably easier for Miguel to try to haul one person once you're closer to the edge. Okay, cool. So Shane is going to have to do this on his own, and Julieta is also doing it on her own.
I will say there's still Kirby. Kirby is a silent, like always in the back. So Kirby has not like gone up the ropes yet. So Kirby's still down below.
I
So-
think Kirby is one of the ones who managed to get
okay.
to safety. So Kirby's
sounds
safe.
good.
If you
Yeah,
want
okay.
Kirby to do something might be a bit of a redemption moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're gonna try to like help out as best as they can to like help pull Julieta up or whatever, and then help get Shane up and out of the water too.
Alrighty, so that's another die contributed. This is a very gutsy situation. I would like Julieta to roll guts plus 2 dice from help. And you mentioned rock climbing. Is that in the traits?
It's not a trait. That's just something I.
If you think any of the traits is worded in a way that applies, that might be a good time.
No, it's fine.
Alrighty. Then roll it. Let's see what happens.
The 4 dice, because just get 2 in guts and then plus 2 from the help.
Yes.
Okay. 6 and a 5, so 2 successes.
All right. It is incredible. You might look slightly unassuming on the standpoint of raw upper body strength, but what you don't have in bulging muscularity, you have in focus and a desire not to die.
Mm-hmm.
Just set your eyes on the prize and yank one at a time, and try to keep your shattered ankle from touching the floor. You get to the edge, and Kirby grabs you by the armpits and
Just yanks her up, yeah.
yanks you out, and now
Go
it's
Kirby.
just Miguel and Shane can finally poke his head out of the water. The water's like here.
Right on. And it's super muddy because it's just all of that runoff, and it's nasty. He definitely is like breathing mud.
Yeah. Like something definitely just went between your legs as you were trying to get up, because all the other stuff that lives in the bottom of the forest is drowning. You see what appears to be like a dead lizard floating by. It's bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Valeria would have had his pack, which would have included the lacrosse stick. I'm sorry,
no.
it's a supporting character.
And most
you-
support lacrosse stick.
Yeah.
I would be okay with Shane having the stick. Shane used the stick fairly recently to get the tree off of Julieta, so the stick can be kept. The stick is a character building prop.
Yes. I mean, absolutely. And if you've ever met a lacrosse bro, it really is just, it's never out of hand. It's never very far.
That sport does not exist in Brazil. It's a thing from movies for me.
Yes. I mean, movies are not inaccurate regarding lacrosse. Okay, so I think he's purely just trying to I don't know, if he hasn't gone too far from the rope, he'll try and like grab onto that, but otherwise he's just trying to straight up swim, even if it means like getting dragged down from where they were supposed to. He's just trying to like go across.
I think you didn't let go of the rope. You just couldn't make progress with somebody pushing you underwater.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
the stick can definitely take the pressure off of the bad knee.
Cool.
So instead of me removing 2 dice from your attempt, I will remove just 1, because the stick is mitigating some of that. The stick is being your leg for a little bit. The other hand is on the rope, and Miguel, like at this point, his feet have dug so much into the mud, but he really, really, really doesn't want a client to die, especially because he wasn't prepared for the situation.
Right.
So roll your guts. The stick is mitigating some of the difficulty, so that is 2
Only
dice.
-1. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because my guts was 3. Okay, so oh well, that was a 4 and that was a 1.
You feel the rope burning your hand in a moment of weakness. It just and you are yanked back, and your back slams on a tree real hard, and you're starting to get tunnel vision. And it's lights out. You guys see the head go under a little bit of bubbles. You see a part of a foot. You see the stick float another way.
Not the stick.
Oh no!
And you guys are down a chain.
Rip in peace.
And I'm giving everyone a panic point for watching one of you die.
Yeah, that's valid.
Okay.
The villain was nature all along.
All along. It really was. Yeah, I mean, I think Ricky might be like screaming, and I think Jeanette is like futilely maybe throws her rope or whatever, and like it doesn't have any effect, and is just like crying. That's rough.
Yeah, I think Kirby
Miguel?
went to go gets Julietta, pushes her off, and then they'll like roll over to like go help again, and just like as soon as they roll over and sees like just Shane just falling, and they're just again another like floor zone sort of like flashback where they're just staring.
Yeah, whoever is currently just staring gobsmacked gets a little bit of a slap on the cheek from Miguel. Miguel's like absolutely aghast and he's like, moving, come on. He brought the thing out of the backpack and he cut off a part of it, the chain link fence. And as you guys were losing your shit, he was getting ready to help you guys climb because he tried to force a door in the front of this big square compound and he didn't manage to. So he threw a rock and he threw a rope and he's like, climb, come on, up now.
Where are we? Where the fuck have you brought us? I mean, climbing, but
I don't know what that is. I'm going last. You guys up.
Don't you know these woods? This is like your jam, right? Woods? You like woods? Where did this building come from?
And he's just looking around and ignoring your questions, just trying to get more people to get on the rope and up. At this point, I'm not making you guys roll. You guys are at the moment not up to your chest in water. So who is at the moment? Kirby has 2 points of panic because the one they got before got cleared by panicking and being unhelpful.
Yep.
Julietta
has 3.
Yeah, I think we all have
Ricky
3 otherwise.
and
right?
Jeanette have 3.
Yeah.
Shane is dead, and you guys get up to the second floor of the building. Story anyway. There's like windows on one point and windows on the other point. They are mostly barred, but that one up the top isn't. And you guys managed to crawl into an environment that was entirely unexpected. It is a big place that has a whole bunch of bunk beds, like metallic bunk beds with little trunks before them and like little lockers. It is completely utilitarian. You don't see anything here that, well, mostly. There are a couple things that can give you a clue about what this is. There is, like, at one point, a United States flag and like, anti-communist posters in here. There is another thing talking about how when you go back home, you can't talk about the work. The place isn't the driest. But you guys are, at the moment, in something that looks kind of like a barracks. And the rain is pouring outside, and Miguel climbs last, and he just sits with his back on the wall, wide-eyed. Like, que porra é essa? You guys, he's absolutely cursing.
Right.
In Portuguese. It's just a string of profanity. Like, it's almost as if you guys are not there.
Jeanette sits next to him and tries to like get his attention and is asking like, "What, Miguel? What is the plan?"
The plan is we wait until the water goes, and if the sky clears a bit before that, we can try to set some stuff on fire and make smoke to bring a government helicopter over here. But right now we can't. We just Wait, I don't know.
There's no flares? There's no flares. Does anyone have a flare?
This isn't even my backpack.
Ricky pulls out a soggy koshina, right? Like a chicken pastry. And is, like he has nothing use. He has like a bag full of snacks, essentially.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
think,
are without
Larry's
dinner.
like, I think Julieta's like, I think that's my backpack.
Oh.
Yeah, as she's like sitting on like one of the cots and like is like trying to take off her boot and like take off the sock to see what the damage is.
You should leave that boot on because that's just gonna hold it in place.
I was gonna wrap it like if we could, like, I mean, being I've learned how to wrap a couple boo-boos in my lifetime. So yeah, I'm gonna do like, is there like dry sheets or anything? Is it just empty metal beds, or is there like old sheets or
There's old stuff in here for sure. Like
Yeah.
there's some mattresses. There's a couple sheets that were just left. This place looks like it was abandoned, and maybe not with all the calm in the world.
Yeah. Valeria, can you
there's
grab me
like
those
a-
sheets, please?
There's
Yeah.
a soggy 1970s Stephen King paperback under one of the beds.
So Valeria is literally only responding to someone directly telling her what to do right now because she's still in shock. So when Julieta is like, go get the sheets, she's like, yeah, okay, sheets. I can do that.
Yeah. I mean, I think Jeanette is also taking a bit of a like, we have to like do stuff, like what's useful to do attitude, and trying to like, if people are not doing something, then trying to get them to like get things that would be useful for Julieta, whatever that means. Ricky is like, when people aren't looking, slowly eating this soggy pastry, and trying to help, but like really just feels like, what the fuck can I do?
Yeah.
And I think
That's
Kirby
rude.
is like, just trying to distract themselves with something else than what's happening. So they're just like like looking at the walls, looking at Stephen King novel, just kind of like taking in the scenario because they want to not be in this moment with everybody else.
Dissociation
Miguel
at
gets
its
up,
finest.
and he's looking at these things like at the Uncle Sam on the wall finally, and being, what the what? Give me the book. When did you say the cigarettes were from? Tries to pat himself to find the little plastic bag that the cigarette was in, the cigarette case was in. Doesn't find it.
Valeria says, Shane knew about the smokes. I don't know.
The books are very splotchy. You know when a paperback is subjected to terrible treatment and water, and then it just.
Yeah.
He's like, 73. This? Oh no. I will
no.
not specify which of the 70s it is, but he has you see a light bulb moment happen, and he's like, all right, we had a moment in, I don't want to offend anyone, but the US was kind of chummy with the worst government this country ever had some time ago. And this sounds like it's from the worst of those years. So maybe he stops, disdainfully goes, president of the time probably let them build stuff here. And I sure as hell didn't know about it. What for? There was never like an operation here in Brazil that I know of. He is taking in the environment. Okay, do you guys want to, I don't know, try to find something useful? I don't think I can comfortably dismantle one of the metal beds, but maybe make a splint for the leg.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of trying to pitch in and help. Who I don't know if someone's in charge who like knows more about medicine. It is not my characters, but
I mean, the
Yeah.
one trait I have for Julietta is that she took care of her younger siblings growing up, so she would have like some basic knowledge of like first aid.
That's
Um,
nice.
Yeah.
If I can pitch as a younger sibling, my oldest sibling knows how to direct each of us to do things.
Yeah.
So even though Julietta is the injured one, she's probably like, all right, Kirby, do this. Valeria, do that.
Yeah, that's pretty
Ricky
much.
and Jeanette.
And that leads very much into her producer life because she's already doing that in general. So she's like, all right, so I'm gonna need this, 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 and this.
Mhm.
If I can find like an old alcohol, I don't know if they had alcohol here. That'd be great. Not for drinking, but for like cleaning any like. I mean, I'm not injured, but like, I don't in that aspect. I think it's just shattered. Nothing's anything poking out, or is it just all like internal? We don't have to go into details, but like, yeah.
Bit of a poke, a little bit of white ringed by
Okay.
red.
Yeah. Okay. So the alcohol is going to be needed then to clean the wound. If y'all can find some alcohol, some the sheets or any other cloths that we may have, a splint, so something sturdy. Probably not the metal. That's probably too much. But like anything that's like ruler shaped or size, like.
Ricky definitely has one plastic nip of cachaça from the airport. So he like he definitely would have had on him somewhere safe. So it's like one thing that was not lost. And he produces it sort of sheepishly and hands it over.
Cachaça?
Cachaça? Am I saying that wrong?
Yeah, no, it's cachaça. It's a sugarcane spirit that's very traditional in Brazil.
I was gonna
Oh.
say, if it's anything like rum, wouldn't that be like not good since it's sugar based? I know it's alcohol, but
It's alcohol.
It'll burn things out one way or
Right.
the other. Wait,
It's
you know what?
probably better than the soup of death that is the liquefied forest floor.
okay,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, it's anything's better than that. Oh, if y'all have fresh water, if you still have like a fresh water pack, that'd be.
If this is a military place, maybe they have a first aid thing somewhere. We can.
Oh
we
my
can
God,
check it
yeah.
out.
Yeah, if anybody can find a first aid kit, I will be here. Not dying. And like has like is taken off like her like everything that she like can and like has her foot elevated as best she could. I'll wait right here.
You guys hear the gurgling water outside, and when you look, it's already starting to climb on the terrain a little bit. It's probably going to start invading the first floor of the building.
And we're on the second floor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many floors are there? Is it just the 2 floors or is there more above us or below?
There are 2 floors that you guys are aware of visible above ground. The rain does look like it's letting down a little bit, but it's going to be very flooded for a long time outside. There are 2 doors opposite from the window that you guys climbed to get in.
Mhm.
And it was like, all right, we go looking for things. That sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we use like a buddy system?
Yeah.
My
No.
buddy.
My buddy, my buddy died.
Oh, I know.
He doesn't say
I would like to know. I would like to know if anybody, after having seen some heroics happen and experienced some tragedy, would like to set up any type of relationship. I realized there was a prolonged hug between Valeria and Jeanette.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jeanette likes Valeria and considers her more normal, and the other influencers to like fake influencery.
Right.
But yeah, so I think Jeanette would go hang out with Valeria if we're just searching this weird abandoned military installation for stuff.
Yeah.
That could be. You guys are at the moment best friends.
Best friends.
I dig it.
Yeah.
It's kind of fast, Leo, to go from I just met this person to we're best friends. But sure, yeah. It's
Yeah, indeed. But, like,
You know,
Okay.
trauma bonds you. It's
formed under
okay.
pressure.
sure. Oh, touche.
Trauma
That's a good
bond, but
point.
You are
also
at
Valeria's
least going to want to.
Yeah, Valeria's like, okay, I've lost the one person who like I didn't really care too much for, but I need something to like anchor me right now. So yes, this is my best friend.
Great.
Yeah,
Um,
the way we interpret this can have a little bit of flex. If it's a situation where not everybody is already acquainted, you can definitely be like, okay, this is, you can call it trauma bond. Rules are suggestions.
Yeah.
Right. Can I want to do a quick time check. It is past 4. Are we playing
Yeah,
till
we're
5? And is that cool with everyone? What is
That's fine.
I'm a little bit more like if we could end earlier than 5. But
yeah, I'm going to try to go that way. I didn't realize it was going to take quite that much to get into the compound.
gotcha.
Yeah, that's
There
my
wa-
other
there was
thought
an
is
attempt.
Leo, we could do a 2-parter, but we would have to schedule it. But I mean, this time is generally going to be fine for me, so I'm just saying.
I know what the good cutoff point is.
Okay.
We can make our way there.
Cool.
But then with the idea
Um,
that there's a part 2, perhaps, or that it's done, just so I understand what you're saying.
I'm down for part 2.
Okay.
Is everyone else down for part 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well then, let's figure that out.
Apologies for not being able to hurry it along. First time running on stream, it's different.
It happens.
Definitely.
Timing is a
Um,
brutal beast, especially when you're also running the game. So
Yeah, there's 6 of us, and you don't want to kill people. I get it, but you know.
I'm glad that Shane was first to go. I didn't
Never
want that.
forget.
Rippin' Shane.
So, you guys split up. Miguel is going with someone. Valeria and Jeanette are staying together. Or is somebody staying here with Julieta, which I think would make sense.
Kirby's off looking, so you know.
I think Ricky stays with Julieta because he feels pretty useless and is good at like cheering people up generally. So
Oh,
makes sense.
so I guess Miguel and
Alrighty.
Kirby can go off.
Very well. So when you guys go outside, this place has like you guys are in a corridor with a couple doors and a set of stairs to your left. The corridor also extends and curves around the big room where you guys were, and you can see that there's more stuff that way. Everything here is the doors are not super closed, like they're slightly ajar a little bit. Everything is definitely deteriorated. There's a lot of like slimy green algae fungal material covering parts of it. This has been exposed to the elements for a while. Miguel looks at the stairs and go, maybe try to get what we can from the downstairs before the water rises too much. They're good. Well,
Yeah, let's do it.
gesticulates to Kirby. Would the two of you want to go downstairs as well, or would you like to look at the rooms upstairs?
Why don't, while the downstairs still is semi-dry, let's both take that on and we can split up and do it twice as fast.
Okay, let's do this. Let's just yell. Maybe like let's keep talking. So you yell something. It doesn't have to be about anything important, just so we can hear each other. So if one of us stops talking, that's a sign.
Okay.
Okay.
Miguel is going to take off to the downstairs. What? So the two of you are staying up here to try to look into stuff? Is that what? Oh, no,
I
you're going
think
downstairs.
we're going downstairs as well to try
Okay.
and like split up the downstairs and get that done quickly before everything gets flooded.
You guys descend. The stairs they're kind of narrow and they make a little bit of a curve as you go down, and you are dumped into what is mostly an open space. And this place is clearly a sort of lab. There is water covering very lightly the floor. There's what appears to be a strong reinforced trapdoor, and a couple rooms that are sort of taking in space of what would otherwise be a large open rectangle that would take up the entire floor. And you see some things on the walls, like barely readable, but you can fish out a couple words, like references to chemical compounds and patience. Miguel is very, very spooked by all this. All right, let's try to make quick time here. To the left of you, there is one room that's separated from the rest of the open floor. To the right, there is a bit more. When you guys are in the open space area, let me check notes real quick.
Leo, why don't I cue up the music?
The spooky music.
Yeah,
Or is that
feel free to
premature?
the music will come up shortly, and then I'll tell you when to.
Okay, cool.
The floor feels a little bit unstable in here. Like this hasn't been maintained for a while. This has soaked up humidity. This is getting even more humid now. Off to one side, you see what appears to be like glass that points into little rooms with chairs that are not the most friendly looking chairs. Like people got strapped to those chairs, and there are tables with like different chemistry equipments, syringes. There's scattered notepads around. From the papers, you get a sense that they were doing behavioral research, sort of experimenting with compounds and trying to get specific reactions from people. Miguel is pulling out drawers and being like, "There's all this equipment, but I don't know what they mixed with this. The stuff to mix isn't here." There is a door that says Chief Researcher Office. There is another door that's just storage. And another one that's computer room. And then the three windows next to doors that peer into these very tiny, basically cells with the chairs in.
I want
The water's rising.
I was thinking storage.
You
Yeah, that would be my plan. Is like storage. There's stuff in there. There's got to be.
Oh no. Hi.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I guess okay. So if we're not splitting up as individuals, then yes, then I'm definitely going with you. And in that case, I'm following you, Valeria, into storage. And all I'll say is, I think we should talk to the other group and make sure that we hear each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to be asking favorite food questions the whole time, like starting with favorite flavor of ice cream. So I'm just yelling to the other group, "What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?" But yes, let's go into storage room.
Cool.
All right. In the storage room, you find like the very last remains of some rations, but because there's very, very sparse remains of stuff in here, you eventually find what looks like a first aid kit, a little dark plastic box with a red cross. And opening it, there's a little bit of string, there's a little bit of alcohol for cleaning up stuff, like equipment for in case you need to stitch up someone. Bandages, etc.
Are the
The
bandages
two of you
wet?
who are no, inside of this box, it looks like it's pretty well sealed. It was tucked away in the storage place. Water didn't rise too high in this room, so it's good. The rations are definitely kind of soggy because they were not encased like plastic and like a layer of rubber sealing.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys definitely get that box. Outside, Kirby and Miguel are pulling out drawers and looking at things. The door to the chief researcher office is closed.
Yeah, I think Kirby's like, we could probably find something in there.
Yeah, probably, but like This feels sturdy. Bringing it down wouldn't be super easy. There might be a key somewhere. I don't see why they would take the key. Especially if it was left in a hurry.
Yeah. Kirby will go and like test the door and make sure it's unlocked. Make sure it is locked before they like try to find a key. So like they'll test it and like test the weight of the door.
It is definitely locked. And one thing that you guys notice now that you have spent a little bit more time here, the room has a weird smell. It's a little. The forest has that smell of like the decaying plant matter, but this is not it. This is another kind of rot, but you guys don't know where it's coming from. And as I mentioned, the floor in some points where you step on it feels like it's a little soggy itself, like it's just waiting for an excuse to cave in.
Mm-hmm.
And as Miguel walks around looking for a key, you hear a sliding, grinding of construction material underfoot. Oh no!
Uh-oh.
And a chunk of floor with the water on top starts to cave under him, and he runs away from it. And then it suddenly falls faster, and you just see what appears to be like yellowish white fingers poking through and yanking down, basically removing a chunk of soggy floor. Wythe music.
Okay, let's see if this works and is the right audio level.
Let's see if this works. That would be funny. Oh no. Okay, now I don't hear Wythe well.
Music.
Okay. It's the thing starts to crumble, and then it is helped along by something that is under there. And you hear a metallic thunk of something banging on that reinforced trapdoor. And as the fingers come out and pull a thing like it's a handful of dirt, part of an elongated head comes out. And Miguel just backs against the wall. And you don't get an answer for what's your favorite flavor of ice cream.
Miguelito, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? Sir, let us know you're still here. Jeanette can't see any of
you
this.
get
Right? She's in
an
another room.
inarticulate. You hear the grinding of the construction material buckling, and Miguel just screaming inarticulate. Kirby, another panic point. What you see is a thing crawls out of it, and it's like it is mostly humanoid in shape, but it has a tail that is at least half as long, with like slimy white skin and gills, and the neck and head are one long shape. And around him, you just see a sizzle of electricity as a eel humanoid thing crawls out of the thing and lunges for Miguel.
Oh my god! It lunges for Miguel. Okay, so I'm going to.
I want you to roll for your panic before you.
Oh yeah. Let me do that. Let's go with this one. The 2.
You could burn your drama point, right?
I don't have a drama point.
Yeah, but I'm going to say that you can tell me that doesn't fit the character, but what's happening is Kirby didn't move. Juliet almost died before. Kirby just saw Shane die. Kirby, in a moment of panic, is done watching people get hurt and die, so he lunges to try to hit the thing.
And yes, he does. Yes, I do.
So there will definitely be a case of guts as the thing closes its fingers around Miguel, who was too slow. That thing, it moves incredibly fast with like undulating motions. You don't know how it is articulated, and it just lets out a and bites, and is going to bite down if you don't prevent it.
Yeah, I think Kirby's they're gonna try to like knock it off or like, knock it away. Just so wherever they snap, it's just nothing but air.
There is plenty of lab equipment here as well if you want to try to hurt the thing, but hurting the thing and getting Miguel off the hands is different.
Get Miguel out in safety first. So
Alrighty,
yeah, they're definitely gonna attack.
Do you have any trait that you feel like it applies?
My patient does have a limit, and when I snap, I snap. I've gotten into quite a few mini fist fights in the past.
Oh yeah. Okay, because this is you guys have officially entered the Act 2 when shit gets real. There is a monster among you. You get to add 2 dice to your guts check for that.
Okay. Yeah. So 2 for guts, 1 for my trait, and then 2 for the first roll.
Yeah,
the act 2. Yeah. So it's
And
5 dice.
Is your character injured at all?
No, Kirby's not injured.
Okay.
They stayed safe.
I will take away one
Uh-huh.
of those dice for reasons that might come into play.
Okay.
Roll.
So 4 dice then.
Yes.
All right, come on, big money. 1 success.
1 success. So as you run up and you shove Miguel aside, what you see is that Miguel has his eyes incredibly wide and his mouth is kind of bubbling, and you see that where the crush grip of the thing has wrapped around its arm and shoulder, it's a long hand. It's like the tip of the middle finger comes all the way to the middle of the sternum, and the thumb is almost poking the opposite side. And Miguel is just looking like he's being electrocuted, and when you bump into him to throw him away from the eel thing, you rub against one arm and you definitely feel it. And Miguel is knocked to the side and like bumps on the stairs and tries to get up with his entire body still kind of shaking. And you are yourself frozen in place for a moment, and that's when the other 2 can emerge out of storage and they see I have a good description of this thing. It's even better than me just improvising what I remember. It's eel-like, longilinous, yellow with these gills that just pulse, and like beady eyes. And the tooth, when it opened its mouth, and you guys can all see, they're like finger-long ice jags. They're slightly translucent. And you are at the moment partially frozen in front of it when the other 2 emerge and see a thing turning its head to you and moving as if it's going to lunge with its entire weight. So mouth first and then jam you into a corner.
Us new folks,
Or it's lunging at Kirby.
Lunging at Kirby, yes.
Kirby.
Miguel is getting up and breathing badly.
Yeah, Kirby is.
The 2 of you get a panic.
Oh, okay. Our panic just goes up another step.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm at 4 with Jeanette.
Yeah, Kirby's trying to avoid all physical altercations with, or at least being touched and electrocuted again, because that was, ugh. Because they're still like their arms still tingly a bit, but like they're still trying to focus.
Right.
So they're gonna grab whatever they can near them and just try to like swing and smash.
Is anybody helping?
Yeah, Valeria would be helping because while she's like in shock, she would want to, like, she's already lost 1 person and she's like not gonna do it for part 2.
Yeah, Jeanette is aware that she is not going to kill this whatever it is alien monster. I would like to, while Valeria is actually helping, look for something useful, like a weapon or
Smart.
a thing that could change the situation. So if we didn't find anything in storage, I think she just runs somewhere else that is not toward the monster or back into storage.
There are definitely some of those. I don't know the name, but the posts where you hang the. You know when somebody's getting a blood transfusion and there's like this metallic post with
IV
the
pole.
fluid on it.
IV pole, yeah.
Yeah, that there's definitely stuff like that you can use to try to keep some distance. But at the moment there is an altercation happening while you're looking for a way to better your chances. So Kirby gets to roll guts again. Valeria is helping, so
Yes.
that is an extra die. You are removing die from being electrocuted, which is
Okay.
the same reason from before. Uh, your trait still applies, by the way, but it's now less powerful because you used it in this act.
So 2 from guts, 1 from the help, 1 from my trait, but that's getting removed because of being electrocuted.
Yes.
So 3 of them. Okay. I got a 5, so 1 success.
All right. Valeria, how are you helping?
So, let's see. This is an unknown creature, and I feel like adding another body and kind of like splitting its attention, that would be my initial thought, is to just try and give it several points of how to what to focus on. Split its focus. There we go. That's the proper.
Look big, shout.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
As much as
Kirby
a
can
wayfish,
definitely-
like
Kirby can definitely grab like one of the glass pieces of equipment and smash it into the thing and turn and try to stab again. And that helps somewhat. You definitely feel like you got a good like finger of broken glass jammed into the side of the thing, and it shakes violently and throws you off, but not before you get a big gash across the front of your body. It burns horribly, and you feel like if it had managed to close hands on you, you would have been defenseless and unable to move.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing flexes its body and forces the glass out, like it pushes against the floor in front of it, getting quadrupedal, pushing the glass out, and you immediately see the skin start to bubble and sizzle around it.
love that.
Miguel
That's good.
is up and being like, upstairs, go upstairs. I'm going to looks at Jeanette with the IV pole. Is this a retreat or is this an attack, Wythe?
I mean, is anyone fighting the thing? Does it seem like Miguel is trying to fight it? I was trying to
Miguel
help.
is trying to get the other people to run up the stairs, and he's grabbing a chair.
Well, I guess then she'll stay, and try to help. The same thing, like get everyone else out by keeping it at arm's bay with the IV pole, because that would create some distance.
Okie dokie. So you will be rolling. Would you like to try and just charge it? Would you like to try and trip it? There are ways in which this could be more of a cool than a guts thing.
Yeah, she's not charging it. She's just trying to keep herself and her friends, or new trauma friends, alive by keeping some distance.
Trauma
So
friends.
Trauma friends. She would try to use cool and not guts in this situation.
That's fair, and you are going to get something from helping out a friend, I believe. Let's check. Okay, you are not aiding them to take an action, so that is not the case. If the two of you want to take off and try to get into the stairs and start to climb up, I'm not going to ask of a roll from you. I'm going to ask of the people down here to roll things.
I think I don't have anything on me, so I'm like, since Kirby did their thing, I want to help Kirby get up and out. And leave the two that have things to attack it with to attack it.
Power of a pole.
Yeah. Of a metal pole against something with electricity powers.
This can't end badly.
No, why would you think that?
Yeah, you guys didn't see it electrocuting people yet. You just saw the part where it has transparent teeth and big fingers.
Oh yeah, that's just Kelly above the table being like, "Oh, this is gonna end well."
Yeah, I mean, and also I am definitely not trying to attack it. I am just trying to keep distance while people run away, and then I'm gonna run away. So let me know if you want me to roll and what I'm rolling.
Yeah.
I got 3 cool.
Roll cool. This is about standing your ground and not, you know, stepping back prematurely, letting it access the people who have its back turned to it. You're trying to scare it away. You're trying to poke at its legs, that sort of thing. Roll cool. Get 1 extra die because of Miguel.
Okay. I got 3 4s and a 5.
And a 5. Very
Yes,
well.
A 5 and 3 4s, which in many systems would be a decent roll, but
Alrighty. Valeria and Kirby, you run towards the stairs, smashing a wall, start to climb, grabbing the railings. And at that point, Jeanette is trying to keep the thing away. And it is momentarily confused by this thing waving a sharp thingy at it. And then it goes to swat at the IV pole. And Jeanette, you feel the electricity coursing through it, and it zaps it out of your hand. But before it can lunge for you, Miguel comes from the side and clubs it in the head with the chair. And it barely feels it. It turns around, slams a hand on Miguel's chest, and he falls to the floor on the water. And you just see the of electricity radiating and arcing over the water away from the hand, and Miguel's mouth foaming red, and the thing bends down and bites into his head, and that's your cue to fuck off.
yeah. Okay.
There is a crunching sound and convulsing from the body, and it rips it out, and you lock eyes with the creature as you run up the stairs with the other folks. And then it just bends down to take another bite after going, and you see like the bulge of a piece of head going down its gullet.
Ugh.
Ugh.
And that's the cutoff point. We should have gotten to the compound a little earlier. My apologies.
No, it's good.
Was it
It's good.
fun anyway?
Oh my
Yes.
God, yes. Question: do we get panic from that? I feel like we should.
I think Wythe's character definitely gets panicked.
Okay.
Well, then I'm at 5.
But-
What happens when you just get to 6? Like, you haven't been calling for panic rolls, but I assume I'll probably just fail automatically, right? So I would just freak out and then
Yeah,
reset.
right now I'm not asking for one because we have elected this to be the cutoff point, so you'll get
Okay.
to run. But next time, if I tell you to roll panic,
I'll just fail, which is great. Yeah.
you are very, very likely to fail. Like, the only way to not panic is to roll a 6.
Yeah. All right.
But
Well,
the other 2 upstairs don't know that Miguel just got its head munched
No.
off. You
Yeah.
do. You saw it.
Oops.
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty gruesome. Also, like, bad way to go.
Yeah.
Not good.
Objectively speaking, Shane had it easy. Just like everything else in life, he had it easy.
He had drowning privilege. Normcore
He
drowning
had
privilege.
mediocre white man privilege. It's fine.
I would, if I had to pick between something zapping me unconscious and drowning, I would prefer getting zapped than eaten. I am a person who would not get on a cruise because drowning terrifies me.
Yeah.
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 Well, we'll have to talk offline about scheduling. But
Yeah.
this is super fun, and I definitely think it'd be worth finishing up the epic one shot
Epic
Of-
conclusion.
Agreed.
death sentence, Brazilian edition,
Indeed.
or whatever Leo you're calling it. This adventure.
This is the adventure that people can get when they buy the game. This is Current of Dread.
Cool. I did not know that. Okay, so
Ooh.
there is a name for the thing that is probably not the shocky biter or the
I can give you the name
Electro-grabber.
of the thing. If I had a little more time to take in the compound before we had to cut it off, because it took a little too long establishing tension before. Those things are called Dagons.
Ah. like the classic Lovecraftian.
Yes. I will say that upstairs somebody finds something, and I will give a little bit more of exposition. But the head scientist, fan of Lovecraft.
Okay.
Like
Got
every
it.
good scientist.
Like every good evil scientist.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it.
Well, thank you. Oh, and thanks for the author is now saying we're renaming it not an elegant classic cult name, but the Shocking Bagger. Thank you so much, Mo and Kelly and Leo, for running it, and thank you everyone who worked on Death Sentence. Leo, do you want to do any quick shout outs or just to replug kind of how people can find the game and
Oh yeah.
pick it up? It's really good.
Well, Death Sentence is available for purchase on HIO. It is currently at a discount until Halloween. So if you wish to secure your spooky one-shot engine and secure this very adventure that we're scenario. I'm not calling those adventures. If you wish to secure this shocking scenario, you can. It comes with the game. There is the core book with everything you need to play. There is a handy rules handout that Kelly printed. I hope it was helpful. There is a trifold pamphlet with.
Oh, hold on, I have that too. Is that?
Nice.
That's not the
Yes.
trifold, but
That's the handout. There is a trifold pamphlet with this entire scenario and everything you need to run it, and a fillable character sheet, courtesy of our amazing artist, Luana Bibiano, who is on Twitter. We can probably, when this goes up to YouTube eventually, we're probably going to include like her socials and stuff. She does commissions and she's amazing. The game looks this good because she's just that powerful. The sales page, she was just zoom, making things happen at the speed of light. She's great.
So good.
Get it. Run spooky things with it. Create other relationships for it and sell it. The only thing that's verboten is NFT crap.
Well, on that note, the spookiest thing of all is capitalism, and it was no NFTs allowed or AI, but otherwise, thanks so much for running Death Sentence, and we're going to resume. We'll do a part 2. We'll figure out the schedule. If this is a good time, maybe it'll be Saturday afternoon. Thanks again to everyone who's watching, and have a wonderful and safe whatever Spooktober. It's like 80 degrees here in New York City. Normally it should be right around freezing. So whatever, we live in hell. It's great. But that's trauma friends. We're all trauma friends.
we're all trauma friends
We're
now.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end the stream. Any last thoughts, Mo? You want to do any shout outs, Kelly?
I mean, you can find me if you like me and like what I do. You can find me on all platforms at Serena Basis. I'm there. I do a lot of stuff, so you can just find me do my things there. So yeah.
You do actual play too.
I do tons of actual
you
play.
know.
Yeah, I've done.
Yeah.
I'm currently. I just recorded a thing for Telltale Hearts. I'll be released sometime in January, which is like a new streaming community platform. I'll be start releasing stuff. I do like other actual plays. Just I do a lot. I write. Yeah, I do things.
Cool.
Excellent. I'm not active on socials right now, so
Good for you. Take your
Thank you.
piece.
thank you. It's great. It's lovely, honestly. So yeah, I exist. Let that be it.
That's
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, that is enough. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful Halloween, and we'll see everyone soon. Bye bye.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Goodbye.